two ways of thinking when it comes to dreams. One, they are meaningless, just something your brain does. Or two, they are repressed feelings, hidden thoughts, or things so blatantly obvious about you and your surroundings that your mind can't let go of. People have always been fascinated by dreams. There's potential for truly weird, bizarre images, but I've never seen anything more bizarre than Yume Nikki. Yume Nikki takes place in a bedroom. You play as the Japanese girl Madotsuki, living in a single room in an apartment. You can't go anywhere unless you want to see the balcony. There's a lonely view that changes during the time of day, but other than that, there's seemingly nothing of importance. It's a small, cramped room. Things of note are the little game console for a minigame. The door she refuses to go to. And of course, the bed. It's very dull in this room. I don't know about you, but when I get bored, I go to sleep. Nothing really to do. Let's put Madotsuki to bed. The background is different. There's music now. Music, however, isn't welcoming. It's like a song that never starts. The room looks the same. Aside from the music, nothing looks out of place. I go to the door, and I enter, only to be greeted by a strange sight. There is a room full of weird-looking doors. The floor is a blank space with Aztec-like art. Through these doors await Madotsuki's dream worlds, although many would agree that these are nightmares. The last through that door is a black forest. There's a giant red monkey floating in the background staring at me. On the field, there are ghosts with fluid spilling from their mouths. Somewhere in this forest lies a gate, and when you go through it, you enter a strange field that houses faces on the ground, and also a Toriningen, and a portal to the Red World, also referred to as Hell. In the forest, you can find a frog, interact with it, and you get the frog effect. There are 24 effects in this game, and one of the purposes of the game is to find all of them. Some effects are purely cosmetic, while others can do things, like doubling your speed or allowing you to kill others. You can even do little animations with them, like leaving the fly behind with the poopy hair, or producing more mini Madotsukis, but I digress. My second experience was the number world. This place is freaky. Numbers are everywhere. There are these weird faces with one leg and one arm. There are NPCs that look like checker pieces, but things get stranger. If you have a knife, you can cut open this part of the wall, and you will go down a hall. Once you leave the hall, you are presented with a staircase, with a disturbing creature rubbing the railing. If you have the knife equipped, it'll rub it faster. Afraid. Continuing past the creature leads you to a door. Go through that door, and you see a disturbing scene play out, of an uncanny face flashing before you. Through another way in the number world, Madotsuki can enter into the guillotine world. The guillotine world houses more hostile Ningen, as well as a severed head effect, which lowers your speed. These are just two of the worlds, yet these two speak so much about what Madotsuki may be going through. Each world conveys a possible theme, but of course I'm just speculating. This game is meant to be cryptic, and as a result, is open to interpretation. These worlds represent Madotsuki's state of mind. The emptiness of Block World, Forest World, the desert, as well as other areas show how lonely she is. She lives alone, high up away from the people below. In the Snow World, you can enter an igloo that houses a little girl. She's asleep, and looks a lot like Madotsuki. There are other igloos around, but no one is present. Maybe even in her childhood she was lonely. As a side note, meowing using the cat effect causes her to shiver. So if this being a young Madotsuki is correct, then she may have a fear of cats. She doesn't seem to have a way to contact anybody, and doesn't have much interaction with the NPCs, which brings me to alienation. The NPCs present throughout the worlds don't interact much with her. The only NPC that seems to have a meaningful interaction that doesn't involve teleportation is a Ningen. These are creepy bird girls that chase you most of the time. There are peaceful Ningen too, but if you stab them, they will come after you. All of these NPCs, aside from a few, look strange and weird. Some even scary. Is she afraid of people? Is she afraid of being rejected? Is she afraid of being accepted? There is one NPC that shares an art style with Madotsuki. She doesn't talk to you, and if you turn the lights off, there is a chance for her to become this. Why did she become this? Why is the landscape so hellish? Actually, there are more places like this that are frightening. There's so many nightmares in the dream world, so much pain to explore. While one may think about what hurt her to dream like this, I'd like to explore an alternate possibility. What if she hurt others? Like I said earlier, this blonde girl doesn't talk to you. The Ningen chase you. Other NPCs ignore you, or teleport you away from them. Maybe Madotsuki believes that she hurt others with her presence. Maybe she actually does hurt others, and these nightmares are a reflection of this. Who knows? Now, while there are many scary places in Yume Nikki, none are scarier than the Dark World. Why? Because that's where you find the knife. The knife, found in her darkest dream, the darkest corner of her mind, connecting all of these dreams as states of her mind, draws me to the conclusion that Madotsuki is depressed. She's been lonely, alienated, is in emotional and maybe physical pain. These lucid dreams beat these facts into her, enough to drive a person mad. Now, unfortunately, depression can lead to a horrible end. Placing all of the effects found in the dreams in the Nexus at first doesn't seem to do anything. I pinch Madotsuki awake and step out. Upon stepping out, I see a stepping stool that wasn't there before. I move Madotsuki over to the steps and go on top. I don't know if she actually killed herself, or if this is another one of her dreams, that these sea jelly beings are there too. But even before seeing these dreams, you get a hint of her depressed, vulnerable state of mind. Outside on the balcony are a pair of slippers. I'm not an expert on Japanese culture, I only know this through a quick Google search. But it is symbolic of a suicide to leave one's slippers out in Japan. Yume Nikki is painful because it's a very real game in the sense of the interpretation the player can have of these dream worlds. Unfortunately, people go through terrible experiences and feel like death is a solution to the suffering and await any future developments in their lives. It's scary being alone and feeling they have no one to turn to. It's even scarier knowing they have no one to turn to. It can feel like the whole world is against you, like people are only there to spurn and spite you. There's one thing to get out of the NPCs in Yume Nikki though, is that although people may look scary, most don't want to harm you. There's only one NPC that actively hunts Madotsuki after all, and even then, they're a benevolent for a ningen. You don't even have to be depressed to feel these things. Sometimes we keep feelings and experiences in, and let them build up over time. It's natural. Some of us feel like we don't want to burden others, but know that the people who love you won't see it as a burden to help you. There are, or will be, people there for you,